Time for another episode of Council Bluffs Today. I am Todd Studer, and we have a new guest in the studio today. This is always fun anytime I get the chance to talk with someone who hasn't been here before. Patty Holeton is the commander at American Legion Rainbow Post 2 in Council Bluffs.
Right.
Thank you so much for coming over. You have a lot going on over at the Legion, don't you?
Yes, we do. We're busy.
You are very busy, and different events that have coming up. Now, you are, I think, just quietly supporting the community. I don't know that you really make a loud enough voice sometimes, and that's why I was glad that you reached out to me, and maybe we can let a few more people know about what's happening there.
We are trying, and I note that we are getting noticed. Several places I've been to, people are saying, you guys are really getting out there.
Yeah.
Well, we're trying. We're trying to get a leg up. We got our building back to ourselves, no longer renting to anybody. Mm-hmm. We're cleaning up inside. We're going to go back to being the veteran facility we used to be.
Well, let's talk about what that means for veterans in the community. Now that your focus is 100% on those who served and folks that in the area, not just in town, but also elsewhere around the county, right?
Everywhere. Yeah. Veterans will come through town and they'll give us a call and say, hey, what are your hours? We want to come in and visit. And we have this thing where we trade license plates. I've seen them everywhere. Go to different legions all over the United States and you'll see all different kinds of plates.
Is that something that you do if you're out and about somewhere?
I take one with me.
Yeah, so you'll go to a Legion in some other place?
Mm-hmm. The last time I did it was Estes Park last year.
You really?
Yeah.
I was just in Estes less than a month ago.
Yeah.
So
I go every year.
It's a beautiful part of the country. And I know people in different corners all around the country that are involved with the Legions that are in that particular area. Mm-hmm. And a big part of it is always, how can we best serve the veterans that are here? And it also gives veterans an opportunity to get involved and to be able to give back to the community a little bit, which I think, as we're all going through different things, the best thing that we can do is if we can put our focus on somebody else. And I think the Legion gives people an opportunity to do that.
We do. Veteran service organizations need to stay. They are slowly depleting membership with the loss of World War II vets, with the loss of Vietnam vets now. Mm-hmm. Many of them are gone. But we need our veteran service organizations, one, to help out those new troops coming out who are retiring or leaving the service. We need to support them in their claims process. We also want them to have a place to go, which is why we are doing what we're doing with our building now. The membership, when we pay our membership dues, a portion of that goes to national. It pays lobbyists who lobby in favor of veteran benefits, the VA and things that happen over there, the hospital, for our doctor visits and things. All the benefits we get completely, our lobbyists do a lot to help us out there.
What are some of the things that the Legion that we have here in Council Bluffs, what are some of your needs right now?
Well, we just got our building back. We're putting up new signage, and we have a little bit of money in our accounts to do things, but we do have a lot of repairs. Our biggest repair is our parking lot, and it really needs a lot of work, excavation type work. So that's a capital project. We also have a hall, which we intend to rent to the community, and that hall needs some work on the floor. We're thinking we need to replace pretty much the flooring in there completely. We'd like to get covering on our concrete floor, which is in our area where we serve the drinks. I just want everybody to know this is not a bar, though. Right. It is not a bar. Right. We will have access to alcoholic beverages, but it's not a bar. It's not going to be open to the public. It's something we plan to have events in the evening, maybe to start 2 nights a week.
So this is something that organizations in the community, it would be available to them to rent. Is that
the hall? Yes.
The hall?
Yes.
Okay.
The events that I'm talking about are like just for us veterans and our families. we'll open the door to the public for that. But the veterans are going to run the show. We'll have maybe, this is still in the works, so we're talking maybe a burger night on Mondays, and then a pasta night on Thursdays. And we invite the public in to help support by paying for the food, the drink. We always have a little raffle or something that we can raise a little more funds. Who knows, maybe a meat wheel or something. It's all in the works. But there's also the hall that we intend to rent. We're also considering having kids' night, say like on a Friday night. Parents come in with their kids, and the kids can go in the hall. We have a big camera, or excuse me, a wall that we can show movies on, and give them popcorn and pop, and mom and dad can chill in the other room, or while their kids are sitting there watching a movie. And we have crafts and games. We bought a bunch of little games for kids to do, stuff that they probably don't have at home.
Council Bluffs Today is brought to you by Keith Jones, your Edward Jones financial advisor in Council Bluffs. Learn how he can help you reach your financial goals. Visit edwardjones.com for more. Edward Jones, member SIPC. If you're looking for a laid-back spot with great food and even better company, it's the Mile Away on Old Lincoln Highway north of Council Bluffs. This family-run bar and grill is your go-to for mouth-watering wings, unbeatable weekly specials, and a welcoming atmosphere that feels like home. So, if you're catching a game, enjoying one of those specials, or just unwinding after a long day, the Mile Away has you covered. Open every day, Tuesday through Sunday at 8 for breakfast, and don't forget them at lunch and dinner time as well. It's the Mile Away, Old Lincoln Highway, north of Council Bluffs. Talk about why it is important for veterans to have a place, not just a place to go, but a place where they can get together with themselves and amongst themselves. And I know the answer to this, but I wanted to give you an opportunity to talk about why it is so important that this exists.
Well, veterans alone need a place to go. They need a place where they're with the same kind of people who've seen the same things, who've done the same things, and we can talk about our stories. And you know, you talk about your stories to a civilian, they're probably like, whatever, don't understand. But then you talk about it to a veteran, and it just draws each other together, and it draws things out. And you have some people that need some support, and PTSD and things like that. And there's a lot of veterans that can talk to each other, and just that discussion back and forth helps tremendously.
I think that a big part of it, and this is true for anybody, I think, with shared experiences, is there's a language that you speak as a veteran from having some of the experiences that you did. And if you don't have to explain the why behind it first, it allows you to really get into what it is that you want to be able to talk about. Because,
Right.
like you said, you share that language
Right.
already. Because if I was sitting down and talking with someone who had been through a war experience, which I have not,
Right.
they're going to have to try and explain the meaning behind a lot of
Exactly.
it before. And when you don't have to do that, it just kind of amplifies everything and moves you forward so much quicker.
We just lost 93, I believe Bob Hill was 93 years old. We just lost him. He was on our honor guard. And after we'd go do a funeral, we'd sit around, have a beer and talk, and I just loved to hear his stories. He was in Korea, Chosen Reservoir. But the stories he told, and just like you said, you knew exactly what he was talking about. You knew what he went through, but boy, for him to describe it, it was incredible. And those are the kind of conversations you get from other vets.
Yeah.
Just maybe not as extreme. Not as extreme. Some you do, though.
I know, such as when I talked to my grandfather, who both my grandfathers were veterans of World War II, but the conversation I'm specifically remembering was he's in Italy, he's an airplane mechanic, and I was asking him questions about, planes that came back and some of the different damage that he saw and things like that. And I could tell he was doing his best to explain it to me, but let's just be honest, I think he had to dumb it down a little bit.
Yeah.
Because there were certain parts of it that I just wasn't going to understand.
Right.
That what it felt like. There's no way for him to accurately describe that to me so I would be able to relate to it
Right.
because I don't have that experience.
Exactly. One of the best things about being with, I'm on the honor guard, and we're all in a van. And it's just fun to sit and chat with these guys and talk about different things and ask them about their experience. And sometimes they kind of look at you in shock, like, you're asking me? Wow, okay, and want to talk. But the biggest kicker I get out of, they're a lot older than me, some of them. Not all of them, some of them. But we rib each other about our branch of service we're in. And that's something we can do to each other, but don't let an outsider.
Don't do it from the outside. No.
Because you'll have us all on you.
Yeah, you will. You'll stick up for each other, and
Right.
that actually happens inside of each individual branch too.
Right.
I've seen that.
Yes.
Just
We argue back and forth whether it's a bathroom, a head, or a latrine.
right.
It's got different names in different branches of service,
What branch were you in?
I was in the Marine Corps.
You were in the Marine Corps.
7 years.
Wow, that my brother went through. He spent 4 years in the Marines, and at the time, I don't know whether or not this still holds true, but at the time, he set the Marine Corps record for the amount of time spent in boot camp and still graduating.
They call that being recycled.
Yeah, that's what was happening to him, and he had a stress fracture that he kept getting back on too soon. He was on there for 11 and a half months.
Wow.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that happens.
He came out looking altogether different.
Yeah. I bet. Yes.
Altogether different.
I was an overachiever. I was second in my platoon, and they gave me the Molly Marine Award. Yeah, Molly Marine.
Right? Just for
Well, me and another Marine, she ran a little faster than I did, the mile and a half. Other than that, I did all the other physical fitness stuff. I volunteered for things like being a squad leader and things like that. That's the things that they looked at. But anyway, also she came into the service with E. She was going to come out of boot camp as an E3.
Okay.
I was going to come out as an E2. And the way you get to a higher rank prior to is by getting people to join the service. With you or I spent a lot of time. There's a delayed entry program. I spent a lot of time with the recruiter, and he says, "Help me get people in, and this is going to help you get higher ranking coming out of boot camp."
wow, that's not something that I ever heard of
Yeah.
before. So you get a little experience as a recruiter before
Right.
you ever even get in.
Right. Right.
Let's talk about some of the ways that you are raising funds to be able to
Okay.
get this work done at the Legion that needs to be done. You have an event coming up pretty soon here. You got it inside of this. I think is actually pretty cool, and to my knowledge, not something that's ever happened in Council Bluffs before.
The duck race?
The duck race.
This is our first annual duck race, and to my knowledge, no, there hasn't been one. But Vern Knope, he's on our honor guard, and he is also on our executive board right now, but he's coming off. He's our finance officer. He came up with the idea. I'm not sure where he got it, but basically we're going to try to sell 1,000 ducks, $10 a piece. You'll get a ticket number. That's your duck number. You don't get the actual duck because the duck goes in the Mosquito Creek.
Okay.
We'll go down to the creek just to the north of Creekside Church. And it's probably maybe a half mile to 3/4 of a mile upstream. We'll put the ducks in there. There'll be a couple of us in kayaks, and we'll make sure the ducks keep going and be down at the opposite end to make sure the 1, 2, and 3 get picked. Winners can get up to $1,000 for first place, $750 for second, and $250 for third.
Wow.
That's based on us selling 1,000.
Right.
That's our goal.
Yeah, and the thing is too is you never know usually who's leading. I'm assuming because the way that I've seen it before is the numbers were underneath.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
you're just watching a bunch of ducks go by,
Right.
And to be able to see this, but it's a fun spectator sport too, even for those who don't have a duck in it. Come on out,
Right.
and join in the fun because there's I don't know, it's just really compelling to watch these ducks go.
At Creekside also, we will have an area for kids to play games. We intend to sell hot dogs and hamburgers and just have kind of a family-oriented
Right.
party afterwards. We'll have pop and drinks, water. things like that.
Well, for right now, though, because this is coming up in August? Is
August
that when-
22nd.
August 22nd. So in the meantime, people are going to see you out and about at different places, getting people signed up, talking a little bit more about what's going on at the Legion, and because I think you're planning on being down at that 250th celebration on the 100 block.
Yes, we are.
Right, on July 3rd.
Yes, we are. We are partnering with the several city leaders that are down there at the 100 block, Bobby Edwards and some others. They will be on the 100 block with the adult festivities. We will be just around the corner in the kids zone. We're going to have they call it a blow up arena for soccer. That the organization that's doing that will be there with some high school age kids that are going to help kids out with soccer.
Yeah.
We'll have several tents. One is a kids safety zone tent, and that's for little kids who are lost, so we can find their parents for them. We're going to have several different games, little games, crafts. There'll be face painters there, the pretend tattoo people. It's still a little bit in the works, so there's a lot going on it, but there's going to be a lot of fun for the kids, and that's going to go from 3 till 9. There's kind of some wishy-washiness there right now. We haven't determined for sure, but we intend to go till 9.
Technology should work for you, not against you. At ThinkSpace IT, they provide expert IT solutions to keep your business running smoothly and securely. From cybersecurity and cloud services to network management and tech support, they simplify IT so you can focus on what matters most. Stay protected, stay connected, stay ahead. Visit ThinkSpaceIT.com. Service Master Restore by Schmader knows it can be hard to get things back to normal when you've suffered serious property damage due to flooding, fire, or smoke, and that can oftentimes lead to mold, and you may be left with all sorts of questions about how to get your home or business back to normal. It's easy. You give Cindy Schmader a call with Service Master Restore by Schmader. Her phone number, 402-339-9911. And I love it when there's family activities down there on the 100 block. And, they're every fall it's a Halloween, and there's just typically you're going to see just different pockets
Right.
here and there, and it's a wonderful location. Block the street off, have some music, and especially this year with it being the 250th birthday of the United States, is a conversation's coming up a lot lately on this show. Is I remember very much the bicentennial back in 1976, and every place you went, every community had a parade. It was everywhere. And the fact that we have something coming here, I think it means something.
Yes.
It matters.
Well, there's a big to-do at the end of the night and after dark, and I believe that's around between 10 and 11. I'm not real sure, but it's a drone show. And there'll be an area that's kind of roped off for that. The drones will go up and do whatever the drones do. I have yet to see a drone show, so
Yeah.
I don't know. It's going to be a nice experience for me.
I asked somebody about this when I heard about the drone show.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, well, it's just a 100 block and you got tall buildings on both sides. You don't have that big of a sky. And without even thinking, I just said, well, where are they going to have that at? And he looked at me and he said, in the sky, Todd.
Yeah.
I said, all right, ask a fool question. That's
Right.
kind of thing. But no, drone shows are really neat, and what they can do with the computer program and going in the right way, it's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's great that an organization is coming down to do that, and all of this. It's designed to bring a community together, get everybody in one place, all celebrating the same thing. And it was glad that it's happening, and that is going to be on July 3rd. So you're going to want to look out for the American Legion. You're going to have a booth down there? Is that what's going on?
We'll have a booth. We'll have a lot of Legionnaires will be down there. Oh, I almost forgot one other thing. We were contacted by the American Legion National Organization. They're sending a media crew out.
Okay.
And they're hiring someone from here to do their video and picture taking, and they're going to come interview us, and we're going to get some national attention for doing what we're doing down here in Council Bluffs, Iowa.
Before we wrap things up here today, can you tell me what the 2 means on American
Two?
Legion Rainbow
Yes.
Post 2?
Well, each post in each state has a number. based on when they got their charter.
Okay.
Well, way back in 1919, um, we were instructed, the American Legion were instructed, you want to have a charter, you need to get to Des Moines or send in your charter, your request for a charter. And Spencer, Iowa did one over on us. They drove to Des Moines and got their charter. So they got theirs ahead of us, and we had mailed ours in, or however they did it back in 1919. But ours, we didn't drive ours in, so
But
we
still,
got number
this
2.
means that
We are the second post.
this is the second post in the state of Iowa.
Yes.
And it's been in Council Bluffs the whole time. And
Yes.
that matters.
Not in the same building, but
No.
in Council Bluffs.
Right. But I think that it's an important distinction that going back that far, the community here recognized the need. And this has been going on now for over 100 years. So, and I'm very happy that you came in and you reached out and said, hey, we need to talk about some of this stuff. And you're right.
Yeah,
we do.
We do.
So please don't let this be the last time you come in here.
Okay.
Anytime you have something that we want to talk about and let
Sure.
the community know and the area know, I hope that you'll consider us one of your resources.
We appreciate
to
that.
be able to pass that information on.
We do appreciate that.
And it has become so commonplace to say that it almost is a cliche, but it's still genuine. Thank you for the service that you did and for what you're doing now.
It was an honor.
And it's we need more people like you in the community, especially now. I was involved with emceed the event over at the Wall That Heals, and what really struck me about that event was the veterans of Vietnam that came in. They reminded me of what I remembered as a kid of being World War II veterans. And as a young man, this is who I was seeing, and that age was all veterans of that war.
Right.
And now we've moved far enough that this is now the age of everyone that served in Vietnam. And that means we need to be paying attention, and we need to be serving these people. And for everybody who, they're still carrying a lot of that with them, even to this day, that much longer, they're still carrying it. So that's when I say thank you, that's where it's coming from. So
appreciate that.
Well, and we thank you for watching this episode of Council Bluffs today. If you click like, or you click share, follow, or maybe even subscribe, depending on what platform you're on, it helps push this information out farther so everybody can see what Patty's doing over there as commander of American Legion Rainbow Post 2, and we can help raise some money, get a new parking lot, get some of the other things done to fix this building that they're in. It's necessary. We need this organization here to be able to serve veterans in the area. So just one simple little free thing that you can do to help pass along information. So thank you in advance for that. Patty Holeton, Commander, thank you so much for being here today. And we will talk again. We'll talk again soon.
Appreciate it.
I'm hoping to get some video of that duck race.
All right.
That would be a lot of fun. All right. My name is Todd Studer. We will see you again next time.